this video is haunting now. Haunting. This girl will now grow up without a father. It's unbelievable to understand. It's tragic. I'm feeling all the emotions. It's destructive, and I'm not the only one. People, I think, don't realize that they've awoken a sleeping giant, and they've destroyed the dam that was holding back basic conversation. People don't realize that. Charlie Kirk has been making videos recently. This was him just having conversations on a student campus in California. But you just look at what he talks about. He makes this video 2 days ago saying, I am safer in Korea than in America's cities. He was right. He was, in fact, right about a lot of things. He was right about many, many things, in fact, it turns out. Now, I keep seeing the video of Charlie Kirk getting assassinated, and then I see videos of him spending time on the beach with his wife and his children that will never know their father. Charlie Kirk died on the front lines of open dialogue, fighting for his family, fighting for America, and fighting for God. He woke up this morning trying to make our country a better place, and tonight he dines with the Lord. Please, God, give us the strength and the willpower to do what must be done. It's a turning point for the USA. Rip Charlie Kirk. And I think that I am not alone in the sentiment that this has changed us, which is why we're going to be looking at Trump's coverage. And then we are going to be looking at normal, everyday humans coverage. People that aren't necessarily radicalized to one side or another. People that aren't necessarily right-wingers or just, average people. People like Tectone, he made a video about it. So I feel like it's really important to understand what happened to us. I think it's really important to understand where everything went wrong. So let's see Trump's statement first, because I didn't see this yet.
To my great fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight, all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror.
Yeah.
Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth. Charlie was also a man of deep, deep faith, and we take comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace with God in heaven. Our prayers are with his wife, Erica, the two young, beloved children, and his entire family, who he loved more than anything in the world. We ask God to watch over them in this terrible hour of heartache and pain. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. His mission was to bring young people into the political process, which he did better than anybody ever.
People don't realize how
to share
influential
his
he was.
Love of country and to spread the simple words of common sense. On campuses nationwide, he championed his ideas with courage, logic, humor, and grace. It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop.
I mean, this is coming from a guy who they tried to assassinate multiple times, right? Fuck. He's not moving naturally. Like, some people are probably going to say that this is AI. I don't know. I feel like he's hurt. He was friends with Charlie Kirk. I think he kind of viewed Charlie Kirk as like a grandson kind of guy. Like, they worked together. I'm just like shaking, man. It's horrible.
right now.
I was going to talk about in this video how I think Charlie Kirk's death has absolutely changed the everyman in America. They changed the tectones of the world, which are just kind of centrist type people, or at least were centrist type people. But I think this might radicalize Trump. I don't think he's ever called the left terrorists before. Which, I mean, where's the lie?
My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it, as well as those who go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and everyone else who brings order to our country. From the attack on my life in Butler, Pennsylvania last year, which killed a husband and father, to the attacks on ICE agents.
Which, by the way, we don't know anything about that guy. We still don't know anything about that guy that tried to kill Trump. I really hope that we get justice for Charlie Kirk for in this case. Like, what is going on?
To the vicious murder of a healthcare executive in the streets of New York, to the shooting of House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and 3 others. Radical left political violence has hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives. Tonight, I ask all Americans to commit themselves to the American values for which Charlie Kirk lived and died, the values of free speech, citizenship, the rule of law, and the patriotic devotion and love of God. Charlie was the best of America, and the monster who attacked him was attacking our whole country. An assassin tried to silence him with a bullet, but he failed, because together we will ensure that his voice, his message, and his legacy will live on for countless generations to come. Today, because of this heinous act, Charlie's voice has become bigger and grander than ever before, and it's not even close. May God bless his memory. May God watch over his family. And may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Wow. I made this comment earlier. A lot of people are saying that, they killed Charlie Kirk, and they made 1 million Charlie Kirks. Bro, they killed Charlie Kirk. They made 500,000 Charlie Kirks and 500,000 Hitlers, because a lot of people are not going to fucking, take this sitting down. And, I mean, I can hardly blame them. It's horrible. I saw those tweets. People have been linking me these, like, I've gotten so many of these. Next is your turn. Woo! Nux Taku. Yeah, next is your turn, Nux. Very cool. Obviously, I get death threats every day. It's not news. Literally not news. Sorry. So Fox News actually posted something that a lot of people are talking about. I didn't see this yet.
Charlie Kirk is being remembered tonight as a hugely influential, charismatic, and engaging individual committed to civil discourse and the open exchange of ideas. Correspondent Mark Meredith looks back at the life of Charlie Kirk. Good evening, Mark.
Brett, good evening to you. Charlie Kirk's death is being called a watershed moment, or even a turning point for the country. The 31-year-old political activist had a massive following, both online and in the corridors of power here in Washington. Before becoming a household name in conservative politics, Charlie Kirk was a teenager growing up in the Chicago suburbs. He told the Daily Caller in 2019 he knew early on politics mattered.
I was always naturally conservative, loved America, loved the values that our country stood for, and I never understood why you'd want to deviate from that.
Kirk thought he'd end up at West Point, the Army's military academy, but after being denied admission, he chose to start something for himself.
It's that old adage, one door closes, another door opens, of course.
Man.
That's correct.
In summer 2012, Turning Point USA was born. What started small later became a political juggernaut. A conservative youth activist organization.
I think people don't realize how big this is. This is the biggest American political movement in all of America. There is no political movement in all of America that I think was as successful as quickly as Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA. He got the youth involved, and I think he has shifted an unimaginable amount of people to the right. or open discussions, discussing things that, society tell you are not supposed to be discussed. You're not supposed to talk about these things. Dude, it's horrifying.
Now operating on 3,500 high school and college campuses.
3,500.
Explained what drove him in his first Fox appearance 13 years ago.
A lot of kids are feeling the effects of what we like to call, with the Washington economy, with a lot of debt, plummeting small business, with higher regulation and high taxes.
As the Tea Party movement evolved, Turning Point USA grew. So did its influence. The AP writing Turning Point events became more ornate, taking on a nightclub atmosphere with strobe lights, pyrotechnics, and thousands of young conservatives in attendance. Kirk endorsed then-candidate Donald Trump in 2016 and later worked to re-elect him in 2020.
I believe it's imperative we get the president reelected. In fact, I think he's going to get reelected.
As Trump later regrouped for 2024, Kirk continued to build an empire and a family. He married his wife, Erica, in 2021 and later became a dad of 2. Trump himself thanked Kirk for staying loyal amid a year of chaos.
And I want to express my tremendous gratitude to Charlie Kirk. He's really an amazing guy.
With Trump now back in power, Kirk remained active, speaking out constantly about the conservative movement.
There's a revival happening in this country right now.
Tonight, tributes continue to pour in for a man many believe helped change the course of U.S. political history.
I think he did.
And those tributes continue to pour in from all over the world. Late today, we heard from...
I think he did change political history. Now, the everyman, all right, the everyman is shaken by this. Normal humans are shaken by this, right? The Hassan Pikers of the world will never, ever deny it because the far left is a terrorist organization, as Donald Trump said. So the Hassan Pikers of the universe will never condemn something like this. They'll never say that this is a bad thing, which they didn't, and I covered that in a previous video. But today I didn't want to look at the people that are evil and not changing. Today I wanted to look at the people that have exhibited change because of what happened. This is Dean Withers. This is someone I don't like, to be fair. I think he's a grifter and a phony. He hated Charlie Kirk. He did an entire tour chasing Charlie Kirk around the fucking country. Literally, every time Charlie Kirk would go to a college campus, he would follow him. This was his reaction to Charlie Kirk dying.
His wife and children were in attendance, dude. Imagine, imagine being a 12-year-old, watching your dad fucking die. Nobody deserves that. Not even Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, not even Charlie Kirk, right? He's still a Nazi fascist, but no one deserves to watch their father die. Whatever, he's trying. It's, so we're trying. Gathering humanity little by little, little by little. Ethan Klein is another leftist, but his reaction was also just incredibly human, because this is an incredibly human tragedy.
I thought it was horrific. This is not...
A lot of people are saying that he was fake crying. You know what? It's a lot better than Hassan Piker saying he doesn't actually care. It's a lot better than Destiny saying that anyone that kneels is a cuck. Anyone that condemns it is a cuck. All right, so I'll take it. I'll take fake crying over celebrating, to be honest. But this is what Ethan said, and I think this is genuine.
And well, like I said at the time, and people on the left were even criticizing me. They go, "Oh, Ethan was talking bad about Luigi." How much has he changed? That was my point. He went out and murdered this guy, right? What changed? Not a single fucking thing changed. That's not how we enact change. And so I wouldn't recommend watching the video, but for me, it it's terrifying.
It is. It's a normal human reaction. It is. This is fucking horrible. It's a real nightmare.
I feel like it's such a terrifying moment for everybody, and to understand this is what we've come to. And I can't help but think about the poor wife, you know.
Kids.
I think it's the idea of having a kid. I think it changes you having kids, right? It gives you something to fight for. Like, I can't even fathom the idea of, leaving my kids to fight alone in the world because I got shot at some rally where I'm just trying to have a conversation. I can't even imagine it. It's heart-wrenching. Heart-wrenching. And we're living in a reality where these fake empathetic retards, primarily on the left, are out there, childless people, deeply unhappy people, just cheering on terrorism. And that's where we're at. And I do think Charlie changed the country forever. I do think that this was a monumental moment in United States history. And it will never be the same. Decoy Voice actually just made a video saying America will never be the same, and then we'll look at Tectone's video because I actually spoke to Tectone. It's a real nightmare. It's a real nightmare.
I go around universities and have challenging conversations, and because that's what is so important to our country, is to find our disagreements respectfully, because when people stop talking, that's when violence happens.
On September 10th, 2025, Charlie Kirk held an America Comeback event at Utah Valley University to a large crowd of young supporters. Now, at one point, certain individuals were angry at this appearance, and then someone assassinated him right there on stage.
I can't even like think about it. Every time I think of the video, it just my heart breaks again.
With the first to confirm it being President Donald Trump, stating, "No one understood or had the hearts of America's youth better than Charlie. At 31 years old, he's no longer with us, being survived by his wife and 2 young children. What they did to Charlie Kirk today changes everything, as they didn't shoot him over fascism, dismantling democracy, or any of those buzzwords they use to villainize the right. They shot him because he was brave enough to speak the truth in a way that nobody else could. So respectfully as possible, let's talk about why, what happens next, and most importantly, to pay our respects to Charlie and his legacy. As initially, this video spread of the alleged assassin, who was quickly found to not be who they were looking for.
To be fair, that guy was arrested in the past for bomb threats and shit. But that was not the right guy.
It seems they knew he was in a nearby building, where he is currently in custody. But before any real information has come out, MSNBC immediately went into blaming Charlie.
He's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech or sort of aimed at certain groups. And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions.
Trying to down...
Yeah, it's Charlie Kirk's fault that he got shot. What the fuck? Like, what are we doing? Unbelievable. Dude needs to get fired now. Oh, he got fired? Oh, nice. Charlie Kirk was not hateful, by the way, to be clear. All right? Because everyone is really comfortable pissing on this man's grave while his body's still warm. This dude was not a hateful guy at all. At all. He had opinions people didn't like. The media villainized him and called him a Nazi. Dude, his body was still warm. And the media's calling him hateful. Hello? He was not hateful. He just had conversations. And maybe he disagreed with you on a few things. Maybe he believed that, abortion is murder. And you think that abortion is not murder. And you want to keep killing babies. What the fuck is happening? Charlie Kirk was a moderate guy. The only reason why they killed him is because he was a popular guy. That's literally it.
Play if this was an assassination attempt.
We don't know any of the full details of this. We don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration.
A supporter shooting their gun off in celebration from hundreds of yards away, hitting him in the neck?
So we have no idea about this.
with Democrat governors immediately trying to connect this to Trump.
Sympathy to Charlie Kirk's family and to Charlie Kirk.
In my previous video.
Obviously, we've seen other political violence occur in other states, and I would just say it's got to stop. And I think there are people who are fomenting it in this country. I think the president's rhetoric often foments it. We've seen the January 6th rioters.
It's simply...
Oh, yeah! Someone murdered Charlie Kirk in front of his family and 3,000 college students because of January 6th 5 years ago. Fat fuck. It's unbelievable. Do you remember when Alex Jones was sued for $1 billion for the Sandy Hook shit? I really feel like every single leftist politician is doing the same thing. Like, it is insane.
Despicable how they're reacting to this, but of course the left is going to downplay it as they're likely the cause of it. As less than 24 hours ago, Charlie discussed the death of Irina Zarutska, to which CNN specifically called him out on.
They called him out personally as a racist on CNN.
Really, over the weekend, Elon Musk, Charlie Kirk, other Trump-aligned figures succeeded in making this senseless death a symbol.
And it wasn't the only time.
For someone like Charlie Kirk, he should be ashamed of himself. No one mentioned the word race, white, black, or anything except him.
A lie, by the way, because the killer said, "I got that white girl," the moment after he murdered her. So it wasn't Charlie Kirk that made it about race. It was the killer that made it about race. So on CNN, they call him a racist that is making this senseless death about race, and no one was talking about this until Charlie Kirk made it a symbol. And 1 day later, he gets murdered. 1 day later, he gets murdered. Fuck, dude!
And keep in mind...
Now, this really is changing America. America is different now.
This CNN segment was after they released the video of the murderer saying he got that white girl while muttering, "She called me the word." But this is in line with them villainizing anybody that dares speak out against their official narrative, which goes alongside other liberal groups trying to align Charlie's movement with a hate map. As the mainstream media apparatus didn't do this themselves, but it definitely looks like they're doing their best to justify why this happens. Even Asmongold pointed out how this shouldn't be a surprise. Just look anywhere online to see people cheering this on. To which TikTok is filled with evil individuals rushing to their selfie cams to celebrate what happened.
Insane.
Even on Twitter, they're doing similar, where it's even worse on Reddit. Celebrate what happened. Even on Twitter,
Communist Palestine flag. Love that every time.
They're doing similar, where it's even worse on Reddit. Now, we don't need to go on all these sites to see low-life replies. I just think it's important to show how this isn't some small minority on the internet that thinks like this.
It's true.
We have a huge problem with people becoming programmed to want this.
We literally have, in my opinion, 100 million people that are indoctrinated borderline terrorists in America. You couldn't beat him in a conversation, so you killed him. You couldn't beat Trump in an election, so you tried to kill him. Dude, we see, okay? We know what we're dealing with. We understand. We understand. I literally have chills. We know what we're up against. We realize that there are demons among us.
Against some Nazi dictator that's destroying democracy, but for an internet personality that has the courage to speak his mind on hostile college campuses, which his bravery scares the left.
You are making a damn dent.
Thank you.
You see, and he would have a conversation with anyone. It didn't matter. He's having a conversation with Gavin Newsom, the most random, woke, freak, weirdo governor of California of all time. He would go. He'd have a conversation with literally everyone. I don't think people realize there was no one like Charlie Kirk. There was no one like him. He was unique in all of America. All right? People that don't really pay attention, they're like throwing everyone into like the same basket. They say, "Oh, Charlie Kirk, he's just like Ben Shapiro." He's not anything like Ben Shapiro. Nothing like Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro will go on different news shows when he's selling a new book and stuff. All right? And he'll react to woke TikToks. Charlie Kirk went in there to change and discuss and have open conversations with everyone in America, and he succeeded, and he was everywhere. He went on every show. He didn't try to get gotcha debates on people. He wanted the most open, fair, honest conversations possible. They killed the best of us. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Kidding. I'm
no, but I know, but I appreciate that. I mean, it's the reason you're here, because I think people need to understand your success, your influence.
Yeah.
As he broke through pop culture and gleefully leaned into it.
The South Park episode just dropped, and honestly, it is hilarious. I mean, we need to have a good spirit about being made fun of. This is all a success. This is all a win.
They didn't go after an extreme, divisive, or overtly offensive public figure. They went after a regular guy that could articulate what most of America...
By the way, South Park pulled the episode. It's official. They officially pulled the episode just about an hour ago. Actually.
Is thinking to the side that needs to hear it the most. But like Newsom said, he was making too much of an impact, and they not only needed to silence him, but also scare anybody that dare do the same. As Tim Cast announced, he's canceling his university shows.
We're canceling our events for obvious reasons. I got to confer with the crew on exactly how this plays out and what this means, but my phone is on fire right now with security as at the highest level it could possibly be. And we had an upcoming event. I was going to be on the ground at a university doing much the same.
Now, I don't blame Tim in the slightest. He's a young father who's not only responsible for his safety, but the safety of his entire team and all the supporters that would come out to see his shows. It's just an example of how an attack like this isn't just to silence Charlie, but his entire movement. As MSNBC is now worried, this might inspire the next Charlie Kirk.
And how worried do you get?
It's horrible. You can't even fathom it.
About somebody taking up the cause of Charlie Kirk.
And giving them the largest logical benefit.
Every single one of us needs to take up the cause of Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk fought to make our country a better place, have open dialogue, fought for his family, and fought for God. Every single one of us needs to take up the mantle of Charlie Kirk. You don't need another face to put on a movement. You need every single one of us to fight for justice. Every single one. Insane.
Maybe they're saying they don't want retaliatory actions, to which I can understand. But it comes across to me that they're just worried that Charlie Kirk isn't the end of Charlie's work, as I keep seeing people spamming the word war online, but honestly I don't think that's the right reaction to this. As of course his assassination is going to sadden and even outrage you, but that should just inspire you to continue his will. So many people, including myself, looked up to Charlie because he had the courage to speak out, and they shot him for it. That can't mean they win. That just means his legacy is now your responsibility. Charlie was a man of faith, so I doubt he'd actually be out there attacking anybody, but even after all this, I don't think he'd be afraid to spread the truth. As one of his last tweets ever was him and his daughter, writing, "Get married, have kids, and stop partying into oblivion. Leave a legacy, be courageous. Happy Sunday, and God bless all the parents out there."
It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. And the world is changing, and people are changing. A rabbi was on Fox News. Yeah, I don't know. Why would they bring a rabbi? Charlie Kirk dies, they bring a rabbi into Fox News? That's not, ain't no way. Oh my God, they did. All right, let's see what the rabbi had to say.
Charlie Kirk was the Abraham of our times. I know that people are going to say, Abraham? Yes. What did Abraham do? He was one individual in a world where they were throwing their children into volcanoes, and he challenged everybody, come to my tent, let's talk. Judaism began on ideas. Judaism began on education. The whole world's religions, the basic religions, all came from conversation in a tent. Charlie Kirk never got angry at anybody. Abraham never got angry at anybody. Look what Abraham built. Now look at these 3,000 people. You just killed their main guy. Do you see rioting in the streets? Do you see anybody going across America saying we're going to go, no justice, no peace? No. You know what they're all doing? They're all talking about how can we make America better? How can we become better? And that is the threat to the other side.
Based Rabbi. Rabbi was spitting, not gonna lie. Rabbi absolutely cooked there. Not even gonna lie. Rabbi was on fire. Based Rabbi. So Tectone just made a video saying goodbye, Charlie. Accurate. And the thing is, Tectone is not a political guy. He is not far right, far left, far anywhere. He's not even political, to be honest. And this is like the normal man reaction to this horrifying situation. So I do believe Charlie Kirk is changing America. He changed it in life, and he's changing it in death, and it's absolutely horrifying. All right, let's see the techie video.
Hey guys, sorry about the shit quality on my phone.
Bro's recording this on his phone.
But I just have a lot of thoughts about what's going on
Everyone
in the
did.
world right now. You know, I got a chest and sternum tattoo today for 4.5 hours, and I thought that was going to be the most pain that I felt today. And then, well, in case you didn't check the news or Twitter, or God forbid you check Blue Sky, Charlie Kirk was assassinated live
Fuck, dude.
in front of hundreds of people with a bullet to the neck. For about
And every normal human person would feel this way. Every single normal human feels this way. Look at Vance's tweet. All right, we'll look at Vance's tweet. Dude, I can't with Wikipedia, man. The murder of George Floyd, the killing of Irina Zarutska, and the shooting of Charlie Kirk. Of course, obviously. All right. Well, before we do Baldo's video, let's see the Vance tweet. A while ago, probably in 2017, I appeared on Tucker Carlson's Fox show to talk about God knows what. Afterwards, a name I barely knew sent me a DM on Twitter and told me I did a great job. It was Charlie Kirk. That moment of kindness began a friendship that lasted until today. Dude, I can't read this shit, man. I'm like, everyone loved him. Every single person that knew him loved him. He was just a good man. He was a good man that fought for God and for his family and for his country. Charlie was fascinated by ideas and was always willing to learn and change his mind. Like me, he was skeptical of Donald Trump in 2016. Like me, he came to see Trump as the only figure capable of moving American politics away from the globalism that had dominated for our entire lives. When others were right, he learned from them. When he was right, as he usually was, he was so generous. With Charlie, the attitude was never "I told you so," but "welcome." Oh my God, that's a tweet. All right. Charlie was one of the first people I called when I thought about running for Senate in 2021. I was interested but skeptical that there was a pathway. We talked through everything, from the strategy to fundraising to grassroots of the movement he knew so well. He introduced me to some of the people who would run my campaign, also Donald Trump Jr. Like his dad, he's misunderstood. He's extremely smart and very much on our wavelength. Don took a call for me because Charlie asked him to. Damn. He really changed the world. It's crazy. Long before I ever committed, even in my mind, to running, Charlie had me speak to his donors at the Turning Point USA event. He walked me around the room and introduced me, gave me honest feedback on my remarks. He had no reason to do this, no expectation I'd go anywhere. I was polling at the time well below 5%. He did it because we were friends and because he was a good man. When I became the vice president nominee, something Charlie advocated for both in public and private. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know Charlie advocated for Vance. I didn't even know that. Holy shit. Ben Shapiro couldn't go on air because he was too upset. Everyone was too upset. Every normal human being with a heart was too upset. Charlie was there for me. I was so glad to be part of the president's team, but candidly surprised by the effect it had on our family. Our kids, especially our oldest, struggled with the attention and the constant presence of the protective detail. I felt this acute sense of guilt that I had conscripted my kids into this life without getting their permission. And Charlie was constantly calling and texting, checking on our family, and offering guidance and prayers. Some of our most successful events were organized not by the campaign, but by Turning Point USA. He wasn't just a thinker, he was a doer, turning big ideas into bigger events with thousands of activists. True. He was amazing. And after every event, he would give me a big hug, tell me he was praying for me, and ask me what he could do. You focus on Wisconsin, he'd tell me. Arizona's in the bag. And it was. Charlie genuinely believed in and loved Jesus Christ. He had a profound faith. We used to argue about Catholicism and Protestantism and who was right about minor doctrinal questions because he loved God and he wanted to understand him. Yeah, my hot take is I have so much love and respect for people that actually fight for their faith. I really do. Even if obviously we have different nuanced perspectives on religion, I feel like you're on the right side if you're fighting for God. Someone else pointed out that Charlie died doing what he loved, discussing ideas. He would go into these hostile crowds and answer their questions. If it was a friendly crowd and a progressive asked a question, to jeers from the audience, he'd encourage his fans to calm down and let everyone speak. True, I've seen him do that so many times. He exemplified a foundational virtue of the Republic, the willingness to speak openly and debate ideas. And there was really no one like him. There was no one like him that did this. Unreal. He would have been a president of the United States, and they robbed him of his future. Charlie had an uncanny ability to know when to push the envelope, and when to be more conventional. I've seen people attack him for years for being wrong on this or that issue publicly, never realizing that privately he was working to broaden the scope of acceptable debate. He was a great family man. I was talking to President Trump in the Oval Office today, and he said, "I know he was a good friend of yours." I nodded silently, and President Trump observed that Charlie really loved his family. The president was right. Charlie was so proud of Erica and the two kids. He was so happy to be a father. Felt so much gratitude for having found a woman of God of whom he could build a family. Charlie Kirk was a true friend. The kind of guy you could say something to, and know it would always stay with him. I am on more than a few group chats with Charlie and the people he introduced me to over the years. We celebrate weddings and babies. We bust each other's chops and mourn the loss of loved ones. We talked about politics and policy and sports and life. These group chats include people at the very highest level of our government. They trusted him, loved him. They knew he'd always have their backs. And because he was a true friend, you could instinctively trust the people Charlie introduced you to. So much of the success we had in this administration traces directly to Charlie's ability to organize and convene. Wow. He didn't just help us win 2024. He helped us, the staff, the entire government. I was in a meeting in the West Wing when those group chats started lighting up with people telling Charlie they were praying for him. And that's how I learned the news that my friend had been shot. I prayed a lot over the next hour. His first good news and then bad news trickled in. God didn't answer those prayers, and that's okay. He had other plans. And now that Charlie is in heaven, I'll ask him to talk to the big man directly on behalf of his family, friends, and the country he loved so dearly. You ran a good race, my friend. We've got it from here. Nah, the world has changed. The world has absolutely changed. Absolutely changed. Holy shit. All right, back to the bald man. All right, back to the everyman. Fuck, dude. Nightmare shit. Nightmare shit. I don't know what God's plan is here, but we're here to fight for you.
25 minutes. People thought there might be a chance of him surviving. Anybody who saw the footage would know that was definitely not going to be the case. Recommend you not look into it if you're squeamish. We've seen a lot of death lately, whether that be the multiple white women who have been slaughtered like dogs on public transit or in parks. You have Charlie Kirk, who was assassinated with a bullet to the throat.
It was horrible.
What's happening in the world right now is deeply unsettling.
To put it lightly.
Has really slowly started to change me how awful the world is right now.
I'll be real. I know too many people that have been killed by terrorists. I didn't think Charlie Kirk would be on that list, to be honest. I really thought that somehow that would be like limited to my family in Israel. I never thought that. I never thought Charlie Kirk would be on the list. But this is a cancerous ideology that needs to be fucking removed.
And by the way, if you've been on Blue Sky, yes, in fact, Charlie's death is being celebrated by far too many people for me to be comfortable with this fact.
True. I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe, man. On Wheels Levy anywhere.
In case you don't know who Charlie is, he was a right-leaning political commentator. Some might even say he was a far-right political commentator.
But they're wrong, because he was not far-right.
Because he's not supporting terrorism, so that means he's a fucking Nazi. Oh my God.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Charlie Kirk was one of the few political commentators who really kept it fair. And
True.
What I mean by that is...
He didn't even do gotchas. Like, you'd think that he would, like... He'd ask them, what is a woman? And they would get, like, all flustered just to show you how retarded they are. But, like, he wouldn't do, like, these crazy gotchas and humiliate people. He never did that.
Commentator who wouldn't be there to shove his opinions or his thoughts or his beliefs down your throats or anybody else's. He is someone who believed in a civil discussion where he would sit down with a peer, where he'd sit down with someone in opposition to him. Regardless of your viewpoint, he was very much down to talk. I've learned a lot from Charlie Kirk recently, where I watched his debate and discussion upon gun safety. And it's very nice to see someone who was willing to put aside their political belief differences.
It's true.
And
He was open to have any conversation. He didn't hide anything. He didn't condescend to people. He just wanted to have the conversation.
just talk to people as people and come to a mutual understanding of why you believe this, why I believe that, and maybe we can meet somewhere in the middle, or maybe we'll stay on opposing sides. Regardless, they were just there to present their beliefs. I believe the first talk on what he was doing at the college campus, which they're calling a school shooting, by the way. It's not a school shooting. If you call it a school shooting, you're a retard. It's an assassination. It was a very intentional, very deliberate assassination. He was talking about what was going on between, the black on white crime, I believe. I haven't seen the full video yet, and I believe
he was actually discussing, as they shot him, he was discussing how there is an overwhelmingly large statistical amount of trans shooters and gang violence, and then they shot him. That was literally his final words on stage.
he was about to talk about the transgender shootings, and well, how apropos that's when that happened. And I think that is the feeling of Blue Sky celebrating a man's death because you don't share their political views. You are a disgusting fuck. No one, and I mean this, no one deserves to die because they have a different political belief than you.
Agreed.
You can jail them if you want, if it's truly that severe and they act on it, but it's just a guy who didn't do anything wrong other than present a different point of view and was honestly the most civil person to do it.
It's crazy. I'm so happy that people are acknowledging this. Tectone's not a political guy. I just spoke to Tectone yesterday. I think it was while he was getting a tattoo. I just spoke to him, and yesterday, holy shit. It was today. I was just talking to him. It was a long day. It was today. Holy shit. I was just talking to him, and and we were talking about how yeah, shit's getting radicalizing out there when you start actually paying attention to what's going on. There do be demons out there. We were talking about it. I told him to read the story of Joseph from the Old Testament. And he did, and we talked about it a little. Fuck, it's insane.
No one else was willing to debate anybody in the way that Charlie was. No one else was willing to sit down and talk to people and try to get to a mutual understanding like Charlie was. He wasn't a radical extremist. He was a very reasonable man.
True. Now, to be clear, I do think someone like Nick Fuentes is, relatively radical. But abso-fucking-lutely, they shouldn't try to kill him for it. And they tried, by the way. More than one people tried to kill Nick Fuentes already. Now, to be clear, he is a radical guy, Nick. And he has a lot of opinions that I don't like. But it's horrible. I hope he has security. This is fucking unbelievable. I pray that God protects these people. This is insane. What the fuck, dude? What is happening?
He was killed, slaughtered. And I'm sorry, guys, from the Irna Zarutsky footage to the Charlie Kirk footage, I'm deeply unsettled. However, I'm very grateful that I am still alive, and I want to let you know that if you're out there, never take your life for granted and appreciate those you have around you before they're gone, because right now there are people being hunted like dogs, and it's deeply unsettling.
It's crazy.
I think the reaction from the news is an absolute fucking joke. People are trying to sympathize with killers. To Carlos Brown, who killed Irna, they're saying, yeah, but what made him like that? Well,
True.
You don't understand
It
how
was socioeconomic factors. Hurt people after all, right? You can't blame him. This is just, there isn't enough communism.
he felt. What the fuck are we doing? What are we doing where we are sympathizing with fucking murderers? What are we doing when...
Well, I mean, to be honest, one of the things Charlie Kirk advocated for a lot is the fact that you need morality. And morality comes from a higher power. And people on the left do not believe in any higher power. And they do not have morals and values that are necessarily just in any way. That was one of the things Charlie advocated for. And it's insane. It's insane. They proved him right.
Websites are protecting people from being called fat and ugly and a whore more than we're punishing people for calling for the deaths of our senators, as well as the citizens, as well as radicalizing audiences to enact violence while recording themselves breaking the fucking law. Are we all seeing the same fucking shit online? Are we... Guys, I have been banned for nearly 2 months total over the past 4 months for calling people names. Yet there are people out there calling for the deaths of other people.
We're playing an unfair game. The deck is stacked against us.
Political figures and attempting to radicalize and weaponize their fucking audience to hurt people and kill them who have gone unpunished. What the fuck are we doing? What is possibly going on in the world today? This is disgusting. It is. It's absolutely fucking disgusting. It's pathetic. It's a joke. I can literally feel in real time myself becoming radicalized because this country is forcing me to. These people are forcing me to because the people in charge are a fucking joke. And it's everywhere. It's
Dude, this guy's not even political. He's not even political, and he has awoken. The noticing is insane. Dude, this isn't some guy. He doesn't read, bro. I don't want to shit on Tectone too much. All right, listen. He is easily one of my top 5 bald people. Yeah, I'm gonna make this clear. All right, so I do want to make this clear. He's one of my top 5 bald people. He doesn't read. He doesn't do research into politics. But he knows. But he's seeing it. Because the mask is off. The mask is fucking off. It's over. The world changed.
Everywhere. The system is broken.
This dude thought World War II was in the 1700s. Okay? Alright? Okay? But he fucking notices basic reality now. Holy shit.
I don't believe it's beyond repair. But this needs to change. We are valuing people's feelings over their safety.
True! And their feelings are based on bullshit and propaganda. These people feel worse for the illegal immigrant, rapist, pedophile, gang member, human trafficker, wife beater than they care about a 31-year-old man, husband, father, fighter for God and for America that gets murdered on stage in front of his family and 3,000 students. They don't have morals. Their empathy is programmed. It's a lie.
The worst thing that I've ever done is call someone fat, call someone a whore, and then said, kill yourself to a chatter. And I am one of the most punished people on the internet for how long I've been banished for. And you have people on the internet calling for the death of people online and falsely calling people rapists on a daily basis.
Yeah. Dude, doxing, swatting, slandering. Dude, it's unbelievable what the fuck goes on the internet with absolutely zero repercussion. And by the way, everyone has come to the conclusion that we needed to kill the Nazis, right? And well, not everyone, obviously. There's some World War II revisionists that have been popping up. But the majority of people are like, yeah, Nazi bad, we should kill them. So when you call someone a Nazi, you are inciting violence. Okay? Like, oh, I'm just calling you Nate. No, you're not. No, you're not. Calling someone fat, calling someone ugly, calling someone a bitch. All right, that's one thing. Calling someone a Nazi, that is putting them in a group of people that you support killing. It is another level. So when you say all Trump voters are Nazis, you are inciting basic terrorism, in my opinion.
Do we not understand what's going on here? You all have been fed so many lies that you will believe your entire life because the people in charge want you to believe those lies. They want to keep you underneath their thumb, and they want you to believe everything that they're saying is the truth. And you want to know the reality.
Bro, please do not go the Candace Owens route, dude. Dude, do not go down the Candace Owens route. Bro's going to be like, space isn't real. Dinosaurs never existed. It's like, oh, shit. Oh, God. Oh, God. They shot one Charlie Kirk. They made 500,000 more. And then they made 500,000 Hitlers.
Guys, the people who really want you to think that they're a good person, those are the worst people. They are. And
the reason why they do this is because they are inherently deeply unhappy people. They have no connection spiritually. They have no connection physically. They don't have a partner, a life partner, a spouse, children, a dynasty, God. They have nothing. These are deeply unhappy people that hate themselves. So they create this false narrative that they're on.
I find it so fucking ridiculous that all these fucking libs who say, oh man, we're the side of peace, understanding, and tolerance.
Oh, yeah. True.
Yeah. It's been very good seeing all that peace, love, and tolerance while you celebrate the death of a innocent fucking man and how you make fun of Irna, a innocent fucking civilian, being slaughtered on public transit. What a fucking joke. I feel disgusted. I feel ashamed. And this was a horrible day, not just for America, but for everybody on this goddamn fucking planet. Something needs to change very soon.
Damn.
Thoughts and prayers to Charlie's family. Thoughts and prayers to Charlie himself. You are a wonderful human being. You were gone far too soon. And I am so sorry this happened to you, Charlie. If you are watching this video, I know today's been very hard. It's been hard for the past week. Even I, who I'm trying to get myself, I'm trying to rewire my brain and how I think about things and trying to fix myself. But I see all this nastiness in the world and it doesn't discourage me. It motivates me to come back even stronger when I do. Shout outs to Zach and his dad. I hope you guys are doing the best you can. There's a lot of pain in this world right now, and they're going to try to divide us. Stay strong together. If you're watching this video, I appreciate you. I hope you're doing well.
Really scary.
Thank you for watching.
Trump talked about Charlie Kirk.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much.
He sounds so defeated.
Before we begin, let me express the horror and grief so many Americans at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk have felt. Charlie was a giant of his generation, a champion of liberty, and an inspiration to millions and millions of people. Our prayers are with his wonderful wife, Eric, and his beautiful children. Fantastic people they are. We miss him greatly, yet I have no doubt that Charlie's voice and the courage he put into the hearts of countless people, especially young people, will live on. I'm pleased to announce that I will soon be awarding Charlie Kirk posthumously the Presidential Medal of Freedom. The date of the ceremony will be announced, and I can only guarantee you one thing, that we will have a very big crowd. Very, very big.
Wow. Posthumously giving him the Medal of Freedom. I mean, it's good. People are changing. This changed people. People are different now. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. The world is different now. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.